This is the new 2024 Dodge Durango RT Premium. The Durango has been Dodge's three-row SUV since 1998 and has been a go-to for Americans that want a family muscle car. But with the new competition out there like the CX-90 and Grand Highlander, is this still a good option for this class? Let's go ahead and find out. The Durango has a very bold and aggressive design. You have a fully blacked out grille that is fully functional, and the top part of it almost reminds me of a mustache. Of course, you have the Dodge branding, and all of the vents below will be functional. Taking a look at the headlights, you will get full LED headlights on this Dodge Durango, including a projector-style LED headlamp, which is very nice. However, you will not get fog lights, but an LED blinker is included. Taking a look at the wheels, these will measure in at 20 inches and will have a full blacked out design. Additionally, you can see through them that there are red brake calipers. Taking a look at the side, you will notice that we have a Hemi badge right here, which could be very important to some people, and a strong body line that runs throughout the bottom of the car. You also get some bulge in the hips and mirrors that have heating, blind spot monitoring, and power adjusting. Power folding and auto dimming are not available. Taking a look at the back, you do have black badges and dual exhaust. And the Durango has a very interesting taillight design. However, the reverse lights will be incandescent, not making this full LED. Now let's take a look at the interior and see what the Dodge Durango has to offer. The interior of this Durango might seem a little bit dated, and that's because it was last updated in 2021. Let's see what you still get. The door panel will be made of a soft touch leatherette. You get chrome on the door release, two-person memory seats, leather on the armrest, this really cool camouflage style trim, red contrast stitching, and a pretty tight door pocket down below. These seats will be made of real perforated leather, and I really love this red contrast stitching and the red Dodge logo. These will, of course, be 12-way power adjusting. Getting inside the Durango is pretty easy because it's not that high off the ground for an SUV. And taking a look at the steering wheel, we have a full leather-wrapped steering wheel with perforated leather on the sides, which gives it a nice and sporty touch. The steering wheel will also be heated. You also get metal paddle shifters and one stalk on the left side. The gauges will be analog and digital, but the tachometer and the engine temperature and the fuel gauge will be digital. And I would like them to switch to full digital soon because that is what most cars have nowadays. Taking a look at materials, we have soft touch plastic along the top, more of that camouflage trim, and the red contrast stitching, matte black plastic on the buttons, some gloss black on the shifter, and more of the camouflage trim, and all of this will be in matte plastic. Taking a look at storage, we do have a good amount. We have two cup holders right here, a useless cubby right here, a little bit of storage right here. Maybe you could put a candy bar right there, a wireless phone charger, and a good amount of space in the center console. Taking a look at climate control, we do have tri-zone climate control in this Dodge Durango. Of course, we have dual zone up front, the third zone is in the back. You also get heated and ventilated seats, 3 stages of both. Now you just control the temperature with these little buttons, and then that will illuminate this part on the top corner of the screen. To control the fan speed, you just use the dial right there, and then another icon will pop up on the screen, or you could just go to comfort and control it there if you don't like the button setup. Now, this is pretty busy, so I'd like to see them clean it up a little bit. I remember in the Toyota Camry, it was a really clean and simple design. I'd like them to do something like that. So you have all of your controls in here. You have all of the controls down here. It's just a matter of what you prefer more. Taking a look at the infotainment system, it is Dodge's latest Uconnect 5 system. Of course, it's pretty intuitive sometimes. And you can add your own widgets right here, like climate, and you can just have easy access right there. And of course, you can just swipe through the different widgets if you like that. The Dodge Durango does offer full navigation, which some car manufacturers aren't offering that anymore. And if you go into vehicle, you have different settings like third row headrest fold, which means that the third row headrest will fold. They are already folded, so it won't do anything. You can take a look at the rear view camera. This is a little bit dirty, so it's not going to provide the best resolution right now. And then you have some settings right here and the dashboard layout. If you go into apps, you do see that you can have Amazon Alexa and your performance pages. And then these are all of your apps right here. You can just go through the different categories right here. We do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, Wi-Fi hotspots, and all of that good stuff that you need in a modern day infotainment system. Taking a look at the shifter, we do have Dodge's traditional style shifter. Just go all the way down for drive, almost all the way up for reverse, and that will pull up a low resolution backup camera. This is kind of dirty, so it's not going to help with the resolution, but Dodge didn't make any improvements to the camera system when they refreshed it. You see, when I turn the wheel, there's kind of some lag in the active trajectory, which is more lag than a normal modern day car. So I'd like to see Dodge make some improvements to their camera system, because a lot of cars at this price point, $60,000, are offering a full 360-degree backup camera, and this Dodge Durango still doesn't have it. For park, you just go all the way up. Taking a look up top, we do have a regular rear view mirror. We also will have a sunglasses holder, and you do have a standard size sunroof. Now, another thing, I would like to see a full panoramic sunroof, because this is over $60,000, and all cars in this segment, except for this one, offer a panoramic sunroof on this trim level. Now let's take a look at the front passenger side and see what your front passenger is going to get. The seats will be exactly the same, with perforation, that red contrast stitching, heating, ventilating, and 12 ways of power adjusting. The door panel will also be basically the same, with a little bit more storage, but the same tight door pockets. But the actual passenger side is what matters. You do still have the same red contrast stitching and camouflage trim, and a little bit of netted storage. The glove box will offer a little bit of space with some felt lining, but it is enough for most people. For example, our family doesn't really use the glove box. You also get a 12-volt socket. Taking a look at the second row, this is probably one of the reasons why you would buy a Durango in the first place. You get a lot of room in the second row, at least a lot more than the Hornet and Charger. Now you will have a leather armrest, the same camouflage trim, and an even tighter door packet than the front. But there are no sunshades, and I know a lot of the competition offers that. The seats will be made of perforated leather, and they will be heating. However, they only recline and do not slide. The Dodge Durango offers a roomy and comfortable second row seat. However, the competition offers more legroom. Dodge did cut out the back of the seat to maximize legroom though, and you have a netted storage cubby. You also get 2 USB ports, a household style outlet, 2 vents, and controls for your 2 stages of heated seats. The rest of your climate controls will be located on the ceiling, just like an airplane. I actually don't like the setup at all, because you can't see the exact temperature you set it at, and these knobs don't have a very nice click to it. However, this is a unique way to fit in a third zone of climate control, even though the center control area doesn't fit it. Additionally, Dodge provides 2 more cup holders and a little storage area, but I would like to see them make use of this area right here for a cubby for the third row passengers. But the real reason why you would buy a Durango in the first place is for the third row. This is currently the only Dodge in the lineup that has a third row. To get in, you're just going to pull that lever and then pull the red strap, and that will fold the seat out of the way so you have easy access into the third row. It is actually pretty comfortable back here, they just need to update it so that it has more amenities. I do have a good amount of knee room, just a little bit, so that is pretty good for a third row. That support is fine, but keep in mind that the second row seats do not slide, so this is what your position is going to be like. You do have plastic on your armrest and a cup holder. And that is actually all you get. Same thing on both sides. Overall, a comfortable third row in need of new amenities. The Durango is Dodge's most versatile SUV, so what kind of space are you going to get? To open up the trunk, you're just going to pull underneath the little switch, and that will open it right up. It is relatively slow, I have to say. Beyond the third row, you get 17.8 cubic feet of cargo room. That's not a bad measure for this class. However, if you're comparing it to the new Grand Highlander, the Grand Highlander offers 20.2, which is a very good amount. You also get a storage cubby on the left side, and to fold down the third row, you're just going to pull on that latch and then push down. Same thing for the left side. And that will give you 43.3 cubic feet of cargo room. Not particularly bad, and if you fold down all three rows, you're going to get about 85 cubic feet, on par with the Jeep Grand Cherokee L. The Hemi V8 is arguably one of the most iconic engines in the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram lineup. Thankfully, the Durango still has it. This is a 5.7-liter Hemi V8 making 360 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. All of this is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and you get a pretty bad 14 miles per gallon in the city, 22 on the highway, and 17 combined. This is the last year for the Durango, and if they replace this car with another 3-row SUV, it most likely will have an inline-6 turbocharged. So if you really want a Hemi V8 and you want a Durango, now is the time to buy it. The Durango is competing in a very competitive segment, arguably one of the most competitive in the whole auto industry. That is probably why they're going to discontinue it. It's very outdated, but you still get a good amount of room. Because of all of the new cars that the brands are rolling out, this Durango is forced at the bottom of the segment. But it is competing with things like the Hyundai Palisade, Subaru Ascent, Toyota Grand Highlander, which is all new for 2024, same with the Mazda CX-90, which is also all new, and a couple others like the Honda Pilot and GMC Acadia. The Durango measures in at about 200 inches in length and about 75 inches in width. Well, that is going to wrap up today's video on this 2024 Dodge Durango RT Premium. The Durango is a very good SUV in 2024, but it is extremely dated. With all the new competition out there like the Grand Highlander, they just offer more space, more amenities in places like the third row, and a lot better fuel economy. But if you really want the Hemi V8, go ahead and pick one up as soon as you can, because this is the last production year for the Hemi V8 in the Dodge lineup and for the Durango. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.